Hey everybody, how's it going? I wanted to do a kind of a quick review and show you a little bit of what I've done to this Stack-On gun case that I just picked up. It's a really cheap alternative to some of the more expensive safes out there. Actually, a really cheap alternative. I actually picked this up for 150 bucks. It is the 18 gun cabinet. It was on sale at Field and Stream from 220, so it was actually a really good price. But it just lacked a lot of the features and niceties that come with some of the more expensive safes. So I wanted to kind of outline what I've done to try to bring this safe up to par. So first thing you'll notice as I open is LED lighting. So this was a huge thing considering how dark this gets inside, and it's tucked in this corner. Can hardly see inside of it if there's no LED lighting, so this is a major thing. And I did wire it up to a motion sensor. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it there right now. I'm kind of playing around with different locations on which works better, but I had to drill a hole in the back of the case behind some of the ammo boxes there. It was actually an existing hole that you use to mount it to the wall or to secure it to the wall, and I just made it bigger, big enough to fit the end of the plug through that. And then all the LED lighting is in here. It's just the LED strip lights. I may have to redo this. It is kind of coming off at the corners every so often, and it ends up peeling down from the weight. So I might have to redo that a little bit. But other things you may notice is it is carpeted. Most Stack-On gun cases in this price range do not come with carpet. So I went to Lowe's and spent 35 bucks on some carpet and carpeted it myself. Took a couple cans of spray adhesive to do this, but I think it turned out really well. I carpeted all of the shelves, the sides obviously, and the floor. And this came with padding that is right here, these little foam pads in lieu of the carpet, but I didn't want to use these at all. But I did use one on the floor just to give it a little bit more cushion down here every time putting the guns in and out, so it's kind of quieter as well. So yeah, highly recommend. There were a few issues with carpeting this, because obviously all of these shelf spacing from the wall to wall or from the center divider over here were not manufactured to take into account the thickness of the carpet. So it was a little challenging getting some of the bolts to line up. Some of them were barely long enough to get the nut on the end of it. I actually had to use a couple longer bolts in some scenarios to get everything to function properly and to fit. The other major thing was the gun barrel rod holder in the back. Over on this side, I could not get this over far enough to put the screw through on the back side. You can just see the silver tip of the screw coming through. So basically I had to take this edge and sand it down far enough so that I had enough clearance to shift this whole thing over to line up the screw holes, one there and one behind this gun barrel as well. Other than that, everything was pretty easy to do. It's just time consuming, measuring all the pieces, trying to cut them as straight as possible for the neatest look. But I'm really pleased with how it came out. The other thing is I got some of these these pistol holders, which are just like these little Z hangers, I guess. The one problem I had with these is that these shelves are so thin that when installed, there's a lot of play. So what I did was I took a piece of wood that I had laying around, cut it down to size, and also carpeted it. And so I doubled that thickness, and now these are solid. They don't go anywhere now. So that was a great improvement that I was able to put in as well. So yeah, I got 6 of those. I'm not sure if I'll be able to. It might be kind of a pain to put a pistol all the way over here if there's a bunch of other gun barrels, but I at least put it in there for right now. The other thing right here is I just got this hook off of Amazon. I'll leave some links in the description below for some of these things. These are all basically from Amazon. If you just type in gun cabinet accessories, most of this stuff comes up. But I got this hook here. This is just kind of like a bathroom hook for towels. And I've just got my gun slings hanging on it. I had them kind of coiled up here, but I wanted to free this space up for just whatever else I can think of. More ammo, more pistols. I'm looking to get a longer 10.5-inch barrel pistol for deer hunting, so that might fit up there nicely. I'm also thinking about ways to utilize the sides. You know, if I could have some sort of hanger in the back here to hold up that longer pistol, that might be useful, and same with the sides as well. But I'll work on that as I get those pistols to try to maximize the space the best that I can. So I kind of have all my shelves broken up into rifle and pistol, and then I got some AR mags and more things down there as well. The other thing I did was first of all, installed some carpet on the door here, which I was hoping would be good for Velcro. All of these are pouches for magazines. I've just got some empty shotgun shells in this one right now, and then this pouch right here, which is actually made by Stack-On and sold. It was like 16 bucks, but it's got all kinds of Velcro strips on the back, and I was hoping that I could use the existing Velcro to stick it to this carpet. Well, it did not stick whatsoever, not even remotely close to sticking. So I had to get crafty, and I decided to use rivets. A little disappointed in how the rivets came out on this side. I thought they would lay flat. I'm not a riveting master, but I thought they would kind of match the look of these here so that they were kind of flat and neater. I'll probably hit that with some Plasti Dip or something, just so that these are all covered up so they don't stand out as much. But not too worried about these sticking out. They're not really sharp or anything. It's not like I'm walking up close to it, so it's not gonna really snag on much. But there are just a bunch of rivets on the front now, but I don't mind. You know, it gives me a lot more space and maximizing this gun safe, so I'm okay with that. The other thing I did, which I just did today, was install these magnetic tool holders. I actually wrapped them in electrical tape just so they kind of blended in a little bit better, and had a little bit of scratch resistance, I guess. They weren't too abrasive, but it was just this like ugly bright orange color with a yellow stripe on it. It looked kind of ugly, so I just taped it to kind of clean it up a little bit. I was hoping that these would stick this way, and it feels like they want to stick, but I think fully loaded it's too much weight, but for some reason they stick just fine that way. So they don't really get in the way as long as the door is open. I don't really like how they stick out, but again, it gets them off the shelves and just gives me some more shelf space. And I've got 3 of them at varying sizes that go all the way to the bottom. One thing I did not account for is I put these 2 really close together, which then prevented this from turning. You got to have a little bit of a clearance right there for that to turn in, so that's why there's that hole right there. I had to move it down to give me enough room to clear this. While we're on the subject of this, I also took some of that carpet and glued it onto this as well. While this door was closed, it had a lot of play. So like somebody would walk by in the hallway and this thing would just rattle like crazy. So I put that carpet in there to kind of help muffle that and tighten the door up, so it sits much more snug now, and it doesn't really make much noise. So I think that was a good improvement as well. But yeah, I think that's all for right now. The only other thing is if I decided not to use these AR mags up there, I do have some smaller pistols that would fit up there as well. just as an alternative, different way to store those. So, but yeah, like I said, I'll leave some descriptions in the link below to some of these products. I also do have one of these thermometers. I forget what they're called, the thermometers and the humidity detectors. I wasn't sure if they were necessary, being that these really aren't that airtight. So I also have down in here one of these desiccant packs. These white rings here will turn pink if this is full of moisture, and then you just put this in the microwave for a couple minutes and it evaporates all that moisture, and it's reusable. And that was like $10 on Amazon as well. So I just keep that in this pouch here. But as far as I can tell, even without that, I've read online that you want the humidity to be around 50 to 55%, which is this top number here. You can see that the highest it's ever gone is actually 56, but I tested this before I even put that desiccant pack in here, and it was always between 50 and 55, so I don't think I needed to worry. But I read some other reviews that if you put in some guns that are heavily oiled, sometimes it can increase the humidity inside of your safe. So I figured I had it. I might as well just put that $10 desiccant pack in there. So hope you guys found this useful and can use some of these ideas to kind of maximize the space of your gun safe. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks, guys.